Welcome back to the final part of World War Six and what civilization started over. Uh, 1 second though. These countries are now out of the war because they've lost. Same thing with Iraq and Egypt. Yeah. Oh, what about Syria? We'll say these two communist countries are being occupied by Tunisia and this one can be occupied by Algeria, because now there's gonna be some more fighting. Now these three we're kind of dependent on Algeria being distracted by Egypt, and Algeria is no longer distracted. So yeah, this is gonna be pretty quick fun as Algeria wipes out Nigeria and Mali. The Congo will be like, we're gonna just peace out. Same thing with Ethiopia and Somalia, they peace out. So now it's just Sudan fighting, and it's not gonna go good for them because Zambia just fully rose up against its occupiers. And same thing with South Sudan. And the isolationist movement in the CAU will be able to take full control of this area. Their occupation here will crumble, and the whole fascist front basically has crumbled around the world. And now, Egypt's invading into Sudan, and yeah, South Sudan's gonna be helping them, and yeah, the isolationists will help, and this will immediately lead to Sudan falling and losing the war. So yeah, that just happened to them. So now the Afghan front is dealt with. Now it's just the communists in Europe. And this is about to get really bad for Moscow, as most of Afro-Eurasia's now fully focusing on this front, and yeah, Poland is able to fully take all of Belarus, kick out Moscow from here, with Finnish troops surprisingly pushing into previous Finnish land. Norway will push into Moscow up here. The front line that the old mountain country and Siberia had, and Russia will fully pick up speed. Siberia is able to push right up to the capital of Kazakhstan. Same thing with Mongolia and with Tibet in the war. They are able to push into Kazakhstan with the isolationist country. And yeah, it's going really bad. Especially, what's this country's name? Especially when Volga decides, we're coming back. we're getting some revenge, and they will start fighting Moscow. Caucasia's front will completely rise up against its occupiers. They're more so discovering, weren't they? And similar thing will happen in Ukraine, as the Communist Front is also beginning to collapse and on itself. And yeah, it especially gets really bad when Polish troops start invading into Moscow, and they also quickly get Estonia out of the way. And now, with everything going wrong for the communists, losing Kazakhstan, and yeah, they lost that. And now with Russia being fully occupied too, after large spearhead and a lot of offensives over here, Russia will quickly fall as well, and Moscow's the only country left here, and yeah, they're gonna lose a lot of land. Volga will take a lot over here. Caucasia will take a lot of land here. And yeah, Poland will take the capital city. And yeah, Moscow surrenders at this point. So yeah, these last few front lines have been rapidly collapsing, mainly because it's the entire world against the communists and the fascists. China and Japan will meet and sign a ceasefire, because if they don't leave this war now, they're going to be destroyed. But one condition is that Korea is reformed as its own country, which both sides don't like, but they'll accept it because it means the UN will leave them alone. And yeah, these two communist countries leave the war as well afterwards. And now California is the only fascist country left in this war, and the North American Union will deliver the final blow and take out California. And now we're going to look at this peace treaty, and we're going to be looking at the future of the North American Union too. First part of the treaty is with Germany. Now, Germany will be fully resurrected as it once was. They will get all their former lands back. So Germany is fully back, and they will be a democracy. Now, for assisting them though, yeah, for the assist, the Netherlands will get some land out of Germany. They will get all of this. And actually, they will get that too. And I'm going to update the states real quick right here. And Germany's fine with giving Netherlands some land. They also do give Czechia some land. They will get all of this land down here. They'll get like the state as like the war spoils. And Poland doesn't want anything out of Germany. Over here, Poland will get I usually don't draw the peace trees on the video. I want to this time. Poland will get all of this land. Then trace it out. So they will get this state, and this state. Belarus will be allowed to exist. It'll be this color now, though, because I forgot what color they were. Not gonna lie. Estonia's back. They're gonna be the red color. And now for Russia. What's gonna go on here? Since it was kind of clusterfuck. Well, what's gonna happen is Volga will be given all of this, all of Moscow's territory, because they were the most like damaged by Moscow, and the UN sees Volga as the main successor to the previous Russian Empire. So yeah, over here, Finland will get all of this back. Like over here. And they'll get this state back. So that it's gonna look something like, oh wait. It's gonna look something like this for Finland now. Norway will get all of this state. This will go Volga. The Yellow Mountain country. Well, actually, well, what will happen here too is this part of Russia, like the whole, like, whatever the fuck happened here thing, is gonna be divided. The Volga taken half the country, and the Yellow Mountain country taken the rest. Where did I mess up? Oh, down here. So yeah, Volga will get that, and Yellow Mountain country will get the rest. Siberia. Oh, yeah. Siberia will begin all of this. Mongolia will be getting all of this. Um, Kazakhstan will be allowed to exist. They're gonna be this lime color now. This is also gonna be Siberia's. So that's what the Russian area looks like now, with Russia and Moscow basically being gone rid of. In fact, let's update the name layer real quick. Volga will actually be granted the ability to call themselves the true Russia, which they will accept. Kazakhstan, why isn't it letting me move things? And now for the ideology layer. Where is it? So what's happening with ideologies? Well, a lot of, oh, that's wrong layer still. Communism fails in, Europe, all the communist states, with exception Norway. I just realized Norway was communist and they invaded their own ally. Oh well. We'll just say they switched to democracy halfway through. That's the story and I'm sticking with it. So yeah, Europe's back to being democracies. And yeah. Also, the whole thing. There we go. Georgia will be kept a democracy, and they will lose no land because they kind of were screwed in this war. Iran will be will be made its own country again, but of course they're gonna be a democracy. Iraq is forcing democracy. Egypt and Sudan are. And now for the land gains here, it's gonna be simple. Turkey will take all of this land over here from Egypt. Iraq will be reinstated. Egypt will be reinstated. Libya will be reinstated, but they are going to be losing some land, and that is to Tunisia. So the war spoils. They're actually going to take all of this. Oh, and they do want to punish Egypt a little more. So in exchange, Egypt will lose the state to Libya. These names have to be scoot over a little bit. So yeah, Chad will be reinstated also. It's a country. Yeah, I think they're that color. But they, as like the little, like, you've been screwed and freaking destroyed in this world, they will actually get a lot of land from Sudan. So they will get this northern state down here and here. They will also be able to get this land back. And they do get this state from the isolationists down here. So yeah, Chad got a little bigger from this war. South Sudan is basically gonna take let's see. We're gonna have all of this land over here given to them. And then the isolationists will begin some land from Sudan, mainly over here. And the West Sudan will be allowed to exist as this ugly blue color. Let's clean up the border a little bit. And here, Mali and Nigeria are basically just released and told never to do it again. And they take that information with great pride because he could have been annexed. So yeah, this is what Egypt's looking like. Wow, this is what Africa's looking like now. Not a lot of changes from the war. Mainly Turkey got a little bigger, Egypt got smaller. This fascist front basically collapsed down here. Now the communist nations down here are forced to become democracies, except for South Sudan, Zambia, and also Ethiopia and Somalia remain fascist. Now, China and Japan are going to be making their own ideologies still. But, Korea is reinstated as a democracy. And now for America. What is going to happen here? Well, a lot of countries in the course of war joined the Canadian Democratic Union, and seeing as most of America is under their occupation now, they kind of want to stay as like big democratic unions, but they feel like having just like one giant one would be quite hard. So a conference will be held in the Americas to decide the fate of the Americas, and the decision they come to will basically make as many people as it can happy. Now, this is how America will be divided up. Now, first and foremost, we gotta determine the ideologies now. Well, here's the thing. Vancouver will be made into a democracy. Same thing with Alaska. They are forced to become a democracy. And then there's gonna be new style of government formed. And this new ideal is called populism. You see, the Americas are sick of, like, there being elite, like, in different, like, classes. They want all their people be equal. And the founder of this ideal is Canada. And all the, uh, and a lot of the places here are given option, choose their own ideals. The Yukon will expand into it, but this area, this area are gonna remain Democratic for now, and they will allow for the communists to still exist, but under one condition. This is gonna be our first split ideology, because they are gonna still be required to one second. They are still gonna be required to have some form of democracy, so they're democratic communists. And the populous countries don't really elect a leader. They just work off, like, the will of the people. And this is actually being supported by the people. Now to color in the countries, so we can look at them fully. Well, now here's the thing. Finding all these empty spots is gonna be hard. Yep. I kill myself because of it. I'm kidding. Don't do that. So much paperwork involved in suicide. No, what is it? Aha, right there. No? Sorry, this is gonna be annoying right now. One sec. This is what America will look like now. I did edit it a little bit more to balance it a little bit more. So we're gonna have to rename all these countries because they've completely changed. So let's go rename them. Actually, we're not gonna rename them, we're gonna just be moving the names around. So Mexico became really big from this. They are charged with occupying California, and they're fine with this because they've always wanted California. And none of these state names are gonna be it. I think we're gonna go with I think this will be called Washington. I think that's how you spell it. Yep. That the yellow one will be Washington. The orange one will be called Socialist America. This one will be called uh Democrat Republic of America. And this will be the populist Canadian Union. Now, reason why they want to do these, like, mass, like, unions is mainly to, like, prevent more radicalism, and the people wanted to go back to being large unions, and they saw, like, the age of division being, like, the biggest, like, issue that the world faced that caused World War VI breakout. So that's what America looks like now. Anywhere else that needs to be handled? Nope. But there's gonna be one last big event, and this involves Scotland and Greenland, and they're gonna actually be uniting into a new country. Well, they're not necessarily uniting, then they're gonna be forming a new country together. And they're gonna be this color, and they're gonna be renaming themselves, of course. And they will be calling themselves the Isolated Northern Union. And that will do it for this episode. And World War VI and a lot of civilization started over. See you guys next time.